there's this point at the top of Skye, right at Uig, where there's a huge loop about 35-40 miles that goes up Skye and down back to Portree, and I was gonna hitchhike the whole thing.
They say I'm different 'cause I'm a piece of sugar. Sweet to the core, that's right.
So, by far that was the worst weather we've had all trip. 10 to like 5 a.m, just constant wind and rain and cold. After waiting a little while longer at the bus stop, my bus to Inverness soon arrived. This bus would take me to Inverness, and then I would take another bus over to Portree and Skye. This journey, however, was going to take all day, and I had hours and hours to just look out the window. With all these bus rides behind my back, you soon come to realize that without Wi-Fi or data or anything to fill your mind with, you have to just experience what's going on around you, and you almost shut off. You just look out the window and see what's going by, and there's almost nothing in my mind in that moment. It's a really nice form of peace, and I experienced it a lot through the trip. So our bus broke down. The moment I left, I knew I was going to miss Betty Hill and Durness. These spots had this feeling of quietness to them that I'd never experienced before. It was just so far away from everything, you couldn't help but just love to feel this escape from everything for once. You can see me now entering Skye. The weather wasn't amazing, and that really worried me because it's hard to set up your tent when it's pouring down with rain. But oh my god, this place was absolutely gorgeous. Hey guys, so I've arrived in Portree and I'm fucking scared for my life. This is where these people go by. Fuck my life. I need to set up my tent. Like, I don't have long. I have like 20 minutes before the rain comes, and I have nowhere else to go. I have to set my tent up here. I don't fucking want to, and I know I might get in trouble, but I don't have any other choice. I want to fucking die. Put it along here so that it's kind of hidden. There's a road right over that way, and people walking by right over there. Fuck me. I've done the tent on the wrong side. The fucking door's there. I don't think people can see it. Anyway, I'm gonna put my stuff in my bag and fucking just hunker down for the night. Okay. See you in a bit. Peace. Sorry guys about the darkness in my room. I'm trying to keep the continuity in these editorial videos as much as possible, but this is like week 2 of me trying to edit this, and I just want to do this really quick. Anyway, getting into Portree was nice. Skye is absolutely gorgeous if you guys ever want to go and visit, but as I was in Portree, I realized it's pretty big, and I needed a place to camp as soon as I got in because the rain was going to start any moment. So I ran up the high street and found a little outcrop that I was kind of like maybe private, maybe not, and I was like, okay, this is the best I'm going to get, or I need to run for like another mile. So I just camped up there, and it was fucking terrifying, but good stories. Love you guys. See you later. Wait up, bro, you forgot to mention that your camera died because you left it in your bag all night, and now tomorrow you're gonna have to record the entirety of it on your phone. You fucking dingus.
Yeah!
Okay, so this one probably needs a lot of explaining. After I camped up in that spot in Portree that was really, really shady, I woke up the next day, packed up my tent up as quick as possible and went back into town. I got bit to shit by midgies and then took the first bus up to Uig. At this point, I didn't even realize that my camera had died until I got into Uig and tried to record something on it and it wouldn't turn on. So I resorted to using my phone to record this entire part of the trip, which really sucks because it's the best and most interesting part. The idea that I had, there's this point at the top of Skye, right at Uig, where there's a huge loop about 35-40 miles that goes up Skye and down back to Portree, and I was gonna hitchhike the whole thing. Okay. So you guys are probably confused as to like where I have been basically. So I'll give you a rundown of where I've been. Obviously, you know I went to Durness. And then from Durness, I spent 2 days there. And then from Durness, I took a massive long bus back to Inverness. Stayed in Inverness for no time at all, and then took a bus all the way over to Skye. Halfway through the bus ride to Skye, my bus broke down right next to Loch Ness. I spent 20 minutes in the hostel right next to Loch Ness, or however long, I didn't really check. And then we went all the way back to Skye, and I ended up in Portree. And now this morning I've gone all the way up to Uig, and I'm starting my big trek through Uig up and back to Portree. So enjoy. I could scream at the top of my fucking lungs right now and I don't think anyone would hear me. So I'd set off. I really didn't have much of a plan other than to just walk down this road, and whatever came upon me I'd have a look at. As far as hitchhiking goes, I really didn't have much of a plan. When cars were coming by in the right direction, I would stick my thumb out and it would work or it wouldn't work, and I really didn't mind. I had food in my bag for 2 or 3 days, so even if I walked the whole way, I would be fine with it. But even then, I still managed to hitchhike 3 or 4 times, and overall this was my favourite experience throughout the whole trip. I never thought I'd ever be able to do anything like this. Like, hitchhiking 40 miles, that's just insane. Hello again. I can't lie, this has to be like at least week 3 of me editing this stuff. You know, I've got to do uni work and everything, so I'm sorry it's taking so long. I mean, it doesn't take long for you. You're just going to see this on YouTube, like, you know, whatever. Right, so I'd made it back to Portree. I was really happy about that. I'd managed to hitchhike 4 times and walk maybe a total of like 5-6 miles. So that was great. Saw everything I wanted to see, and it was one of the highlights of the trip. Unfortunately, I couldn't record it properly for you guys, but you're just gonna have to deal. I can't fucking go back and do it. But yeah, I'm sorry about the bad footage. At this point in the trip, things start to become really like choppy, and there's big cuts in time because, you know, I was starting to get, you can see it in my face, I was starting to get really, really tired. And burnt out. I mean, I'd been going for more than a week now of just sleeping on a shitty coffin in random locations everywhere and stressing out about stuff. So the recording kind of dipped because of that. I was focusing on having a good time instead of, you know, recording everything. But anyway, I took a bus. Once I got into Portree, I took a bus down to Armadale and stayed there for a night so that I could catch a ferry the next day to Malake, and you guys are all going to see that now, so enjoy. Buenos noches. Fucking win it. Morgen
my lovely friends. Slept well last night. Yeah, not much else to say.
That's how you get it cheaper. Yeah.
How much was it?
I held up my £2.50 and I was like,
It was actually really interesting going on the ferry. You think it wouldn't be that much of a bother, but you can tell how intricate and organized this whole thing is, with many workers doing loads of different jobs that I had no understanding of. And it was really mesmerizing to watch everyone work in unison and do it effortlessly. I was beyond tired. This trip had really beaten me up, and with loads of ups and downs and loads of stressful moments, I was finally able to relax for a little bit, and realized that my trip was coming to an end and I was traveling to the last place that I would be on my journey. This made me sad, but also made me appreciate how far I'd come and everything that I'd done. I remember wishing that I'd gone to all the places I wanted to go to, but the public transport just couldn't take me there. I'd done the best I could, and all I wished for was that there was more. But this was the end of my journey. Almost. So that's me back on the Scottish mainland. Yeah, I found out the reason that my camera died was because when I stayed the night in Portree, I actually left it on record in my bag overnight, so it died. So sorry about having my phone camera as footage, but charged it now, so we're back at it. I'm gonna have to try and hitchhike down to Morar, and then I'm gonna go along the hitchhike along the beaches. So we'll see how it goes, but I think it's gonna be like a 1 or a 2 day sort of trek. But we're off to a decent start now. The ferry was nice, so just have to see how it goes. It's a fucking steam train. Just took a shower in a bus stop public bathroom, which is definitely a first for me. Probably the best public bathroom I think I've ever been in. Found another tick on myself just on my stomach, so that wasn't great, but I just yanked it out. So yeah. Just gotta wait for a car to come by now. There's fucking Maleg. 3 miles that way is Morar. So, wish me luck. Yeah. Managed to fetch a ride about a mile or two, He dropped me off a bit earlier so that I could go to Silver Sands, which are just to my right, which I'll show you. I think I'm starting to understand how hitchhiking works. At best, you're gonna get like 15-20 miles at a time hitchhiking, and you gotta just bounce from town to town locally until you get as like close enough to where you're wanting to go that you can get there. But you know, you'll be very lucky to find someone that's going straight to the place that you want to go, especially if it's not close. So you can't really pick and choose. And the best way to hitchhike is say you're at a group of local towns that are all within 20 miles of each other. You could easily hitchhike by locals or by tourists to each town, like within 10 minutes. But anyway, I'm gonna go and check out these Silver Sands.
É pau, é pedra, é o fim do caminho, é o resto de toco, é pouco sozinho, é caco de vidro, é a vida, é o sol, é a noite, é a morte, é o laço, é o anzol, é peroba do campo,
é o nó da madeira,
Cangá,
é o matita pereira,
é madeira de vento,
da ribanceira,
é um mistério profundo,
é o queira ou não queira,
é o vento ventando, é o fim da ladeira, é a viga, é o vão, festa da cumeira,
é a chuva chovendo, é conversa ribeira das águas de março, é o fim da canseira,
é o pé, é o chão,
é a mastradeira,
passarinho na mão,
pedra de atiradeira,
é uma ave no céu,
é uma ave no chão,
é um regato, é uma fonte,
é um pedaço de pão,
é o fundo do poço, é o fim do caminho, no rosto desgosto, é pouco sozinho, é um estrepe,
é um prego,
é uma ponta,
é um ponto,
é pingo.
This beach is somewhat remote, like it's a hike to get to it. So there's this lovely beach and there's no one except me on it.
É a garrafa de cana, estilhaço na estrada,
é o projeto da casa, é o corpo na cama, é o carro enguiçado, é a lama, é a lama,
é um passo,
é uma ponte,
é um sapo,
é uma rã
é um resto
de mato,
na luz
da manhã,
são as águas de março fechando o verão, é a promessa de vida no teu coração.
So I've hiked for maybe the past 7 hours or something like that, and it's getting late now, so I have to find myself a spot to sleep. Feeling a bit fucked, but holy shit, you should see the view. Look at that. I can't say it any better myself. Fucking hell.
Magnolia, you're sweet thing. You drive on me, man. Got to get back to